why become obsessed with reading books in the first place? If you're like me, you hate having to sit down and read something, anything. The act of reading an endless list of words that some random person arranged and said, yeah, this seems like the right order. Now spend 7 years of your life reading my book, or you're a dumb, dummy, dumphead. But what if I told you that I love reading books now and it actually doesn't take 7 years to complete one? Also, think about it. It might take us a little while to complete a book depending on what book we're reading, but also think about how long it took to write in the first place. Because some books do take 7 years. And we have the easy jobs of potentially reading 7 years of knowledge from the author. Some authors are good, some are great, and some will truly waste your time. But even when you're reading a bad book, you still walk away with more than you think. Let's break down what makes a book in the first place. At its core, a book is simply just a compilement of information or entertainment, or even both. Every book is trying to serve a purpose, and your goal as a reader is to find that purpose and understand how that information affects you, whether that's good or bad, useful or useless. You're not just reading to get through the pages. You're reading to get an experience, to gain a new perspective and walk away with a piece of someone else's knowledge. You could read something 8 times and truly not understand what it really means without applying the knowledge. Reading isn't about consuming content. It's about engaging with the author's mindset and internalizing what you learned. The goal is to take something away from the pages and use it to enhance your own life and your own experiences. Okay, let's talk about step one. The goal isn't even to start reading yet. The goal is to get obsessed with books. Just books. I'm talking like the physical objects themselves. Books. I don't really recommend starting off with the e-reader. It's just not really the same. What we're going to be doing in this step is just acquiring books. Think of this as an environmental change. You're going to make it painfully obvious that reading is an option now. It's about changing your surroundings so that everywhere you look, there is a book. When you have books sitting on your nightstand, your coffee table, or even a shelf that you pass by every day, you're going to make it very hard not to pick one up. And here's how to do it without spending a ton of money, because I know what you're thinking. I'm just a student. I'm broke. Which is why the next goal is to get them as cheap as possible or next to free. This is going to require a little bit of effort. You can go to your local library and get as many free books as you want, or you can go to their used section and actually keep them for about 50 cents to $1. But you will have to look hard for the good books. But luckily, you don't have much competition. The only people I see at libraries are old ladies. Okay, cool. So we have all of these books around our surrounding area, but we haven't even started reading yet. But this is how we actually go about doing it. This is the ultimate tip to speed up the process of becoming obsessed with reading books. Whenever you have the urge to pick up a book, just pick it up. Don't even worry about opening it once you pick it up. But if you have the urge to open it up, go to a random page and just read a random sentence. The whole point of this step is to get comfortable with books rather than being intimidated by them. You have to understand that you are the one in charge. Books don't really care if you read them. They're just there. And books are incredibly patient. They don't really care what you do with them. You can go to page 99 and start there, or you can go look at the table of contents and read an individual chapter only. Honestly, do whatever the fuck you want with the book. The whole point of this step is to get curious, to get excited, to look at a shelf and not see a chore, but to see an adventure. You're not just acquiring books, you're acquiring potential. You're telling your brain, hey, look at all these options. Let's sum up step one. Your only goal is to get as many books as you can for as cheap as possible, and then put them all around your environment. And whenever you feel like picking one up, just open it. You don't have to commit to reading. Just read whatever you want, whenever you want. Do this for as long as you want. Your goal is to build up a tuck of books to read. I would say 5 to 6. What books you decide, that's on you. So, when is the right time to start step 2? The real answer is whenever. It doesn't really matter what's going on in your life, because the barrier to entry step 2 is going to be as easy as possible. All we're doing is building a new habit. A new habit that's actually enjoyable and doesn't just feel like a waste of time. So let's talk about how. The goal of step 2 is simple. Consistency. You're going to stay consistent by just reading 1 page a day. All you have to do is show up. You don't even have to show out. Read at least 1 page a day. You can read more, but I would just focus on your 1 page. Now, I would personally make a very, very simple tracker to track the amount of pages I'm reading a day, but the only thing that you're tracking is if you read the 1 page or not. This can be a very simple calendar or write a tally on your wall, like you can count it up the days or you could tally it in the book itself. Your goal is to not miss a day. By the way, I wouldn't take more than 2 to 3 weeks on each step, especially that first one. But this is where you can truly spend your time wisely, because this is the fun part. You can read 1 page from as many books as you want. There is no structure other than having to reach your 1 page a day quota. Just pick up any book and start reading 1 page. It doesn't even have to be the first one. You can start on page 99 again if you want to, weirdo. Oh my god. The goal isn't to read as many pages as you can. The goal is to read every single day, even if it is just 1 page. Essentially, you're just dipping your toes into the water, giving yourself a chance to sample different ideas and different stories. You will know when a book is a winner because you won't even think about turning the page. You'll just read 1 page and suddenly you're on page 5, 10, or 50. When you find a book and the pages just keep turning themselves, you found your first book. The goal of this stage is to find a book for step 3. Once you found that book, the first book that you want to complete, then we can move on. Okay, so you think you found your book, huh? Now let's see if you're really ready for step 3. This is where we start testing the waters and we get obsessed. Let me tell you a little bit about my first book. Never forget about your first book. Oh. Hi there. Didn't see ya. I didn't realize that we were just breaking into people's homes, but I guess that's just what we're doing these days. I want to talk about my first book that I read. It's Be Obsessed or Be Average by Grant Cardone. This was the first book I've ever completed, for myself, I should say. I didn't do this for a grade or some stupid AR test back in the day. I did it for myself. This book is 13 chapters. I set the goal to finish this book in 1 week. During the time, I completed 5 chapters on a Saturday, 4 on a Sunday, and 1 chapter until the book was done. I set the goal, I had the intention to actually do it, and I just got it done. What you don't know is I spent hours reading on that weekend. It just takes a lot of time to read. You can be the fastest reader in existence and it will still take you some time to finish a book. That's just how it is with any skill or anything that you want to develop, especially when you're first starting out. But what's important here is that you aren't always going to have the time to read. And that's okay. I'm not saying just forget about your goals. I'm just saying understand these goals will take time. If you get behind on your schedule for completing a book, it honestly doesn't matter because the goal at the end of the day is to complete the book and to get the knowledge, not to complete it as fast as possible. So make sure that you're being kind to yourself and no matter what, you're still making that progress even if it feels like none at all. One other thing I want to show y'all is that I didn't just read this book. I annotated and highlighted it. The whole thing. I don't know if y'all can see it. Listen, just trust me. I highlighted a lot in here, okay?
Nice par!
One last thing I want to leave you with before I go. Don't just read it. Actually engage with it. Bring a highlighter, and you see how many times I have tabs in here. Actually understand what the author is trying to say to you. And if it's a fiction book, just fucking enjoy it. Your first book that you complete for yourself is something special. So don't look over it. Really find a book that you're actually going to enjoy and that you might possibly love one day. Because this book, I absolutely love. Not just because it's my first book, but because it really speaks to who I am. Alright, let's wrap this up. I mean, how long can a video about reading actually be? Now that you actually found a book that you actually want to complete reading, it's time for you to develop a simple system. It does not need to be crazy, and no, I'm not going to tell you what my system is, because you need to develop it for yourself. I would start with only reading 1 book at a time, especially when you're deciding to read your first book. Just focus on completing that before you move on to anything else. And as you get more comfortable with reading, make sure you explore. Broaden the books that you're going to read because you don't know what you're going to end up loving and reading next. The more that you explore, the more that you'll find the books that will just pull you in. All right, here we go. Finally, let's talk about obsession because just completing your first book will not get you there. You might be obsessed with the one book that you just completed, but it's not the act of reading itself. Obsession is about doing it automatically. It becomes a part of you in your daily rhythm. Think about it this way. When you're obsessed, you don't even think about the goal or the quota. It's just what you're going to do. It's the act of doing without thinking or even setting a goal to do it. It's just doing it because you're going to do it anyways. And once you're there, that's when you know you're obsessed. This is fire. This was a little mixer and a half. That's crazy. We're all done just like that. I don't feel like we're done yet though. Some final things that I want to leave you with. Remember, reading a book isn't simply just reading a list of words. It's actually pulling information that's relevant to you that you want to keep. I highly suggest not taking notes on the books that you're reading currently. I wouldn't take notes until my second read through, and I would only pay attention to the things that I highlighted. This is how you can reread a book very quickly. Rereading isn't about reading every single word again, it's about remembering what you deemed important the first time. Also, if you're not highlighting and annotating your book, you're doing it wrong. You don't actually have to annotate, just bring a highlighter. Oh hey, you're still here. One more thing I actually want to tell you about is I really don't want you to worry about messing up your book. I really want you to try and destroy it. Go out of your way to destroy your book because books are actually really cheap. You can replace them very easily. Don't get caught up in being a perfectionist. It's just going to make you not enjoy the book and baby your book and not want to read it. Also, I want you to understand that there are books on every single thing that you want to learn. Legit anything. Remember that books are just a compilement of knowledge, information, and or simulated experiences. Go have fun with it, keep it stress-free, and actually sit down and read. That's all you need. Oh, I didn't realize I was rhyming now. Okay, that's it. I don't know why you're still here. You can go now. I'm actually going to go read. Bye. I'm actually reading Atomic Habits for the third time now. It's really good. It's hitting hard this time. I actually never annotated or highlighted this book before because I was too scared of doing it because this book is just so nice. But it has to happen. I am currently dismantling this book. It's been really nice. I'm on chapter 4 right now. I just started it a day ago. Anyways, you're bothering me now. I gotta go read. Bye.